was a huge area where all the boxes were displayed.
Right.
And the team was packing.
Yeah.
Never. Meet her, she's Smoor.
Yeah.
So, I love that.
There are certain brands you experience even before you know about them. Smoor was that for me. But over time, the curiosity shifts from the product to the person building it. Today, I'm with someone I've personally admired. Her restraint, her eye, and her ability to build something that feels both luxurious and deeply intentional, and the quiet energy she brings to it all. This is Curated Chaos with Kanchan Achpal. What's harder, creating the product or creating the market for it?
Um, I think creating the product is easier than creating a market for it, because we've got a very, very good R&D team. So sometimes they give you things on the table that you're supposed to put out there.
Right.
But is you get the product ready,
Yeah.
and you tell people that this is what I have launched,
Right.
take it. The other thing is you literally give them what they want. So there are these two things we do. Like a lot of times we do these customer study where
Yeah.
we get a group of people who've been using Smoor and we tell them, what do you want to have next?
Oh, nice.
So that makes it easier
Yeah.
for us than the other way, where at least I know the market is ready
Yeah.
for it and I
Yeah.
give them what they want.
Right.
Of course, there are these little surprise things
Yeah.
that we keep doing.
Yeah.
That you surprise the customer. They walk in
Yeah.
and you give them something
Yeah,
that they're
yeah.
not ready
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
So those little surprises are very important.
Yeah, yeah.
But I definitely think it's harder to create the market. So
market.
it's very challenging.
India has always understood, sweets. It's in our DNA. How difficult or challenging has it been for a luxury segment, or the uniqueness you carry with the brand as in terms of chocolates and sweets, to position that? How has that been for you?
So, when we started in, literally even in Smoor came into existence in 2015.
Right.
So if you see, before that also we had like a lot of learning that we had to give the customer as to
Right.
what couverture is.
Right.
The whole idea of cocoa butter itself was not in existence. Right? Everyone enjoyed your 5 rupee bars that were available, and everyone thought that was chocolate, including me. And it was very difficult, like I remember customers would bang the phone down on me. I would, ask for an appointment. I said, can I come and meet you because I'm calling from Smoor? And they're like, we don't know who you are. And, they would just put the phone down. But now, I call anybody. Oh, we love your...
You are not making the calls anymore.
So I said, they are calling, So I know that we've gotten somewhere.
Absolutely.
It's been a difficult journey.
Absolutely.
We've done a lot of chocolate tasting events, where people have come, like you do your coffee and wine. We've done all of that, the right way of eating chocolate, percentages in chocolate, single origins, whether you're procuring from Madagascar, Ghana, Java. There's so many flavors. You have woody notes, you have fruity notes. So all that I think Smoor has really done very well. These little groups have come and tried chocolate, and today, we can say that the market and the customers very evolved, thanks to all this exposure that they've got.
Do you now feel the pressure of you personally living up to what Smoor represents?
Yeah, I'm scared. Every decision that I take, I'm so scared, is this right for the brand? Even now, though at the back of your mind, you know what you have to do, what you don't have to do. But somewhere, everything that you do is going to be a reflection. So I'm really scared. So I think 100 times, because I love where we are, and the last thing I want to do is, affect the persona of the brand in any way.
Yeah.
So, it scares me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then in that case, what do you think the brand has taken away from you on a personal level?
See, when we started in the beginning, I had a lot of I had a lot of freedom. Like I remember I've come from another job where there was a lot of rigidity, and because it was an established brand, you can do things only in a certain way.
Yes.
So the main reason why I came here, I was like free. You know, you do whatever suits the brand. So at that point in time, it was like that. But now, I mean, I'm also walking, you know, treading very slowly. Now, since like you said, you're an established brand, there are a lot of guardrails. You know, you can't do things that may hurt you know, where you are treading and the entire reputation of the brand. So yes, I mean that I would think that I've changed. I'm a little, still a little fearful at the moment as compared to what I was. So I think that even in my personal life, it's, you know, I think twice.
Yeah, of
before
course
you're,
you do.
maybe I'm also a little older and wiser. So that's something which I attribute it to, but...
Less wilder.
Yeah, less wilder. You're not taking rash decisions at all, you know, especially at a point like this. Yeah, so...
What's that version of you that Smoor will never get to see?
I think I'm all in. I've given everything to the brand. I mean, you know, like, I don't think there's nothing that I don't think I've hidden anything. Like, whatever is required for the brand, I've been there.
Okay.
You know, my prime years I've given to the brand.
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't think I've hidden or kept anything back.
And when you're not building, when you're not, you know, doing team interactions, when you're not Smoor, when you're not Kanchan Smoor, what is Kanchan? Who is Kanchan? In 1-2 words.
You know, I'm a very content person, if you ask me, you know, like at home and all that. Even like cooking a meal, I'm very happy with that. I love spending time with my family, you know, like talking to the kids. Maybe doing some gardening, you know, setting the garden right. I think that makes me very happy. Playing some songs and just sitting and enjoying your cup of coffee. You know, little things like that. And of course, I mean, I love good holidays now and then.
Yes,
I wouldn't say I'm content from there because that traveling, me and my husband love. So, you know, we always travel. I think we just come back refreshed and rejuvenated and gives you more to think about. But otherwise, you see, I mean, you know, I'll be sitting at home with one nice, even on the bed with one nice book or, you know, a good movie and, you know, my soup in hand and I'm happy. It's not that you know, you want to eat this, you want to go here, you want to be everywhere. I'm not that type.
What bit you think is important in terms of percentage, let's say, for you personally, which says, okay, I want to keep 50% old traditional and I want to do 50% innovation. What's the combination for you?
See, I would think, you know, now with you know, Gen Z, you know, being very involved and they like a lot of new stuff. And you see a lot of our crowd is very young and, you know, they like interesting, exciting stuff. So I would say about 30-70. I think 30 you have to be constant because there are people that come back for the same box. You know, they tell me that, you know, we gifted this to somebody and they loved it. So they come back for it. But you know, in terms of your product range and also, you know, when you talk about 30% needs to be what you always did. And 70% can be like, you know, new. Because, you know, every time you come and see the counter, you say, oh, wow, you know, we haven't tried this cake.
Right.
So while we anyway do it for seasonal products,
you do.
There is your BAU stuff that happens. For that, I think like a 30-70. Because I also think familiarity is very important. Like every time you come to a space and it looks new, no, I mean, not happening. You know, I wouldn't, I get a, you know, like I'm sure there are lots like me also that feel that, no, you know, this doesn't look like my favorite coffee shop. So we don't make so many changes all the time. But that little burst of, like I said, the surprise element and that new refreshed look, I think that's nice.
That's nice. Okay. What has pressure been for you then versus now? Since
I just think I do more work now. I think more now because you see there's so much competition that's come in the market. So you can't just be relaxing and saying that, oh, we've established a brand that, is people know that and we're doing well and we just relax about it. No, I don't think. There's constant need to be doing something or the other every single day, whether it's in product, in packaging, in customer service, in the way your lounges look, in the way you market. You can't be doing the same thing.
What scares you more now? Losing control or losing relevance?
I think losing relevance. I think it's today it's all about the brand relating to people and you being able to, like you said, like stay relevant. Because the scariest thing is, you're doing something that people don't want. People don't want you for what you're doing. That's the scary thing. Control is fine. That
okay to let
is
go of
okay.
that.
You're used to a lot of things that happen where you're losing control, but
or
it's
you
okay.
have no control of at all.
It's okay. You see and everybody learns as they progress and see the result, whatever. But I think losing relevance is scary.
Okay. Do you think being part of the founding team or being an entrepreneur, is it okay to be uncertain, or is that something which is a prerequisite now? People expect you to just know everything.
No, I think it's fine to be uncertain because a lot of trial and error happens. Now, I never know that if I launch something, it's going to do well. I'm never sure of it. There are times when something is loved by a customer, but sometimes it's not. And I've literally, we've developed a range for your seasons, whether it's Diwali, Christmas, over now, 15, 16 years. So you never know. You're just doing your best every time.
Yeah.
And you feel it's going to appeal to the customer. But like you said, you never know. And it's fine.
Yeah.
You learn with your mistakes.
Yes.
And you just get better.
Yeah. Running such a successful brand, is there a moment in time where you felt it is not worth it?
Never. Never.
It's all worth it.
Yeah.
If you were starting today, what would you do differently?
Maybe I would keep the range smaller, Ahana, because I feel sometimes, when you do a little bit of everything, it's very difficult to excel in all of that. Like you have a bit of, we've got food, we've got beverage, we've got so much of it. So sometimes, concentrating on all the categories and giving it that much importance, because it is a lot of work.
Yes.
Maybe I would have, contained the range a little more.
What part in your personality completely reflects in Smoor?
I think, see, if you look at the milder thing, my compassion, I feel, the way we portray the product, the way, we interact with the customer.
Yeah.
That compassion is always, for me, it that comes first, how you treat the customer. So that we see in the brand a lot of times. I also think the colors, because sometimes when I look for even clothes for myself, and when I compare, the colors of the packaging and all that, I see a lot of that because I feel that creativity in the vibrancy or the colors that you use, they can't be very loud and they can't even be very, very dull. So there's I see that in me when I look at the packaging or the colors that we choose, even when you look at upholstery or, color of ribbons, anything. I think that I see a lot in the product.
I'm so thankful for you to give me this time.
It's my pleasure.
No.
Thank
you for giving the time.
It's my pleasure. Sometimes it's nice for me to think of, you've literally taken me back in time. I've thought of all those years that, and it feels good.
Yeah, and for me also to know that story.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're meeting in events and then we end up just saying hi, hello.
Exactly.
But just to go a little more deeper in your life is such an honor.
It's been my pleasure.
Oh,
Thank
thanks so much. Thank you.
Opportunity.
God bless. Sometimes what looks so certain from the outside is held together by decisions, trade-offs, and moments no one ever sees. And it's that unseen part which stays with you. This is Curated Chaos.